Welcome back to akaWORK Solutions and Software Development Lifecycle Series. In the last video of this series, let's exploring sources control management process through version control system and Git. In order to start learning about version control system, let's begin by talking about one use case. A global company that has offices spread over several countries with thousands of employees. They want to build an application to resolve the business. So, when it is such a big company, there might be a set of issues and challenges it will face. What could be the possible set of challenges the company faces? There are 5 common use cases as the following. Firstly, collaboration. There are so many people located at different places. There may be a need to communicate for a particular reason or a set of people who are working on the same project. Secondly, storing version. Storing versions, the project is not completed in a single version. There may be a number of versions. In that situation, the problem of storing all such commits in a single place is a huge challenge. Another problem is restoring previous versions. Sometimes it is important to go back into the previous versions to find the root cause of any bug. One more common challenge is to figure out what happened. At times, it is critical to know what changes are made to the previous version of the source code or where exactly have the changes been made in a file. Last but not least, the system or the disk of the user break down and there is no backup, then all the efforts will go in vain. The question arises, what could be a possible solution to all such problems? And this is when the version control system comes into the pictures. The version control system will take care of the collaboration between employees storing different versions, will help in having backup on the remote repository, will also help in rolling back to the previous commits and to the last version of the source code. So, what is version control system, VCS, and how they can bring value to us? The main purpose of version control system is to allow developers to be able to check in their files into a repository and store all history changes in the repository. For example, we can achieve 3 files into a repository. Then we can create a snapshot or a historical record of all the files that we're working on. Let's call the snapshot is version 1. Now, there will be some changes in file 2 and are updated to file 2.1. We can easily to make a new snapshot to store the changes with version control system. It allows you can check which snapshot you want. A snapshot will be stored all changes. Version control system has 2 main types, centralized version control system and distributed version control system. First, let's talk about centralized version control system. The centralized version control system has a central server where all files are stored and everyone has to check in and check out from the server. All versions are managed within that server. There is the big problem that if the server is down, then you will lose all your files and all history. Fortunately, we actually had a backup, but it didn't have all the historical data, so we were able to at least continue working. We just lost a lot of files and it took a while to get back into place. The second system is distributed version control system. Distributed version control system still has a centralized server to manage all file source code. But the difference is that developers check out all files for a project before coding. Nowadays, one of the popular distributed version control systems is Git. We're going to declare it in the next part. Git is a version control system for tracking changes in our project files over time. It is generally used for source code management in software development. As developer, you will install Git client on your machine and you can create local repository of a program on your machine and then you can sign up with a remote repository like GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. When using Git, you will be able to get some values such as easy to track changes in your source code, allow multiple developers to work together by using a remote repository and Git, support nonlinear development because of the thousands of parallel branches. There are some features in Git which you can imagine. The first one is track history. This is the most important feature of Git. You show all history change for all files in your repository. Free open source, that you can install and use it for free, and the source code of Git is public on the internet. Support nonlinear development. It is a nonlinear environment that allows developers to be able to implement new features in parallel, and then the features can be combined to one branch. Create backup. You can automatically create a backup because each developer has a version of the code on local. Support collaboration. After developers finish implementing a feature, then they can work together to merge multiple branches to one branch, or many developers can implement a feature on a single branch. That's the end of this video. Like, share, and subscribe our channel for more interesting information. Thank you and see you in the next video.